Saxony is the state of inventors, engineers, architects, and designers. It is therefore not surprising that one of the leading companies for development and testing has emerged here and is known worldwide: IMA Dresden. Every day, IMA Dresden meets pioneers and leaders shaping the future and helping make dreams come true. People dreamed of wings 2000 years ago. The age of German aviation began in 1900, when officer Graf von Zeppelin raised the giant blimp into the air for a full 20 minutes. On the other side of the world, in 1903, the Wright brothers wrote their name into the world's history when they tested the Hopser Flyer 1, which covered 36 meters in 12 seconds. But not all the tests of the first flights were successful. So in 1955, the Aircraft Construction Department in Dresden began to develop test hangars, fixtures, and technical know-how. At that time, under the direction of chief designer Brunolf Bade, the first German passenger jet plane was built. These test tracks, with the most modern test facilities of the time, were the basis for the Institute for Lightweight Construction and Materials Management. Its mission became the economical use of materials, in the case, the use of the lowest possible quantity of the technically most appropriate material. From the IFL, IMA Dresden was founded in 1993 by management buyout, which still carries out the mission today. In 1893, the Blue Wonder was built in Dresden, a bridge over the Elbe River. During the testing, the deflection under a 157-ton load was only 9 mm. Modern building products give architects and engineers free rein to create bold and abstract structures. IMA Dresden plays a leading role in this. It monitors and certifies buildings, products, and assesses quality on construction sites of iconic structures or numerous bridges and power plants. In standards committees, IMA Dresden contributes to shaping the future. In 1930, Dresden's Great Tram reaches a speed of 98 km per hour during tests on Königsbrücker Landstraße and revolutionizes tramway construction. Since 2009, data on real structural loads on Dresden's tracks have been collected on a daily basis as part of the Measuring Tram project developed by IMA Dresden, together with the Dresden Transport Authority, Dresden Technical University, and other partners. This long-term information provides insight into how railroads can be made even more comfortable and energy efficient, but also how components and parts can be designed better and more safely in the future. IMA engineers record stresses and strains in real applications outside Saxony by means of test drives and long-term measurements. Based on this data, they create test programs for virtual simulations and experimental investigations. In Saxony, tinkering and inventing have a long tradition. 170 years ago, a Dresden professor began developing the Saxonia, Germany's first functioning steam locomotive, which Johann Andreas Schubert personally drove. Today, IMA Dresden has been supporting designers in the strength testing of rail vehicles for more than 60 years, coming from all over the world to the IMA test halls for experimental trials and approval tests. There are many railway vehicles components such as axle box bodies, springs and swing arms are tested for strength and durability. Tomorrow's railway vehicles undergo many tests at IMA Dresden, such as magnetic particle testing, ultrasonic technology and virtual analysis to make structural damage visible. So there is no end in the railway vehicle testing for the IMA testing world in Saxony. The filling strip fastener, also called prong fastener, was invented in Saxony in 1939. This was used to keep analog data together, especially in the Institute for Lightweight Construction and Economical Use of Material, IFL. Today, YM family of information system developed by IMA to manage data and network knowledge. The material data pool of IMA Dresden contains more than 6,000 materials and is an important part of these solutions. The YM Fatigue Rifest software enables user-friendly strength calculations according to the FKM guideline and supports the design process and component stress analysis. 60 years ago, the first Trabant rolled off the production line in Zwickau, Saxony. Today, Saxony is a research and development center for the automotive industry. IMA Dresden supports manufacturers and suppliers in testing engines, cars, bodies and other parts. The tests also include roads, simulations and the testing of tanks and piping systems with various fluids. The IMA testing world is concerned with modern materials, alternative drives. Electric arcs are dangerous in current-carrying contacts, especially in the case of large currents such as a high voltage or substation. In the early days of electricity, switching connections were cooled and extinguished in tanks containing 20 tons of oil. In the 1930s, Sachsenwerk Dresden developed an environmentally friendly flow switch that required only 1 liter of oil. The IMA Dresden accompanies the creation of new switchgear and switch combinations from development to the type approval. With in-house transformers, it can generate and control test currents of up to 25,000 amperes. In modern test bays, IMA engineers control the current flow and record data to ensure that the customer's fuse trips at the right moment. The IFL developed the test method for the world's first artificial intervertebral disc in 1986. Today, IMA Dresden comprehensively tests materials and models of joint endoprothesis to prevent inflammation and bone loss in the body. In the laboratories, joint implants are moved and loaded at least 5 million times under lifelike conditions to simulate the life of an implant. In addition to knee and hip joint implants, ankle joints and elbow are also tested, as are osteosynthesis products, dental implants and surgical instruments. In May 2021, Applus, an international testing, inspection and certification company, announced the acquisition of IMA Dresden. IMA Dresden became part of the Applus+ Laboratories division. The important thing is not to predict the future, but to be prepared for the future. What the Greek philosopher Pericles once stated applies today more than ever in our global high-tech world. Whether aviation, automotive or rail, construction or medical products, electrical components or software solutions, A++ EMA serves every industry with the same commitment and passion, because that is the A++ EMA testing world. EMA is 30 years and it works.